Lucky for you, you get 3 videos. I wanted to. There's a couple things that came to me, and I'm kind of excited about it, actually. So 6 years ago today, I shared a video, or I shared a post on Facebook of me and my son. Probably on our way to a soccer tournament or something. I love my time hops, going through everything just with me and my son. We've just been through so much. Not any more than anybody else, but it's just kind of been me and him against the world in a lot of different ways. I see it so clearly now. And when I got pregnant, I didn't even realize I could get pregnant. And it was an uh-oh for sure, but it was, golly, just a miracle in itself. And just everything leading up to this point. My son turns 19 this August. And so, and I'm 42, so. And it's funny because he's heading to get a haircut and right now, actually. And getting haircuts or giving himself haircuts has been a strong suit for him throughout the years. But when you carry a particular bond with your kids, you know, it's outside of this world. It is nothing can get in the way of that. You know, and it's unfortunate because there's a lot of kids in this world been born into circumstances and situations, but not the greatest parents, and nobody's perfect parents out here, but there are parents that should have never been parents, you know, and unfortunately based off how they treat their kids. And there's been seasons where I've not been a good parent neither, just because I let societal things get in the way of putting what's important, what's right. And I think that's really important right now, given where we're walking through. So I just told my mom, like, I don't know what I got going on. I'm so excited to be 42 and my son be 18, 19, and be walking through this unique world we're living through right now, and be present in that moment for my son to help guide him and coach him through what is to come and what we're walking through, and kind of just be there, not so much push him in this direction or tell him who he has got to be and all this stuff. No, that's not the approach I take. To each to their own. A lot of parents live vicariously through their kids. That's not been my approach. But I saw that a lot on the fields, truthfully, during sports. Just the truth. But for me, my heart goes out to a lot of people that are having babies right now and bringing babies into this world, or trying to have babies and running into issues because of everything that they put in our food and the air and all of it, you know what I mean? And so I can only imagine what you think in the back of your head, whether you say it out loud, just seeing what we're walking through on the full scale, and what it's going to look like for the young kids right now, and the babies, you know, 18 years from now. What's it going to look like? Is there going to be people with famine, can't eat? You know, I mean, we don't know. And so could you imagine being a parent and thinking that? So one of those things, I wanted to kind of start on that, because all I can say is that's really when you need to lean in on your faith, in your beliefs, in God, and recognize what Jesus Christ did. That's what's going to get you through next year and the year to come, It just is. Your faith, your hope, your belief in something higher than you. I know a lot of people have a hard time believing that there's a higher power, but there truly is. And if there wasn't a higher power, if God wasn't present and what Jesus Christ did on the cross wasn't real, people wouldn't be acting the way that they are. They wouldn't be responding to things in the nature of the way that they are. They wouldn't be trying to gaslight us. They wouldn't be yelling at us just because we asking questions for the truth. They wouldn't be doing these things. And so that's just the truth in it. That said, I think that it's very unique. I think for me personally, like, if there's people in my life now, I know there were people in my past, but if there's people in my life now where you find yourself trying to like coach me and guide me, and whether that's videos, algorithm, people that is physically in my life, for me to go in a certain way, for me to do this, like, you still have control over me. I'm here to tell you, you don't. You 100% do not. Nobody has control over me. That ship has come and gone. It has sailed far, far, far away. Nobody has control over me. And that's a beautiful place to be in. Truthfully, you have to fight through tooth and nail to get to that place where people do not have the control over you. And by the grace of God, I do have a roof. I have a bed. I have, my parents have they've helped me and not put me out on the streets. And I give them grace to that all the time. I'm very grateful for it. And so that said, I just wanted to put that little note out there, because this is what trips me out. And maybe one day they'll get the big picture. I pray for that for them. But nobody was put in this world to control anyone. To control the populace, to control reality, to bend the truth, to bend illusions, to create attacks and tactics and all this stuff. The world was not designed for that. It was not. And so seeing as we've led up to this very moment where you have people that think that the world has been designed for that type of control, it's landed us where we're at today. And that's just the truth. That is the truth. I know people want to bend the truth, bend reality, but you can't. It still remains truth. And so often enough, if you find yourself in a world where people are trying to control you, you have to ask why. Why are they trying to control you? You're not designed to be controlled. Now, I'm not saying go out there and create havoc and do illegal things and hurt people and do all this crap. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Live by the law. Even if they choose not to live by the law, you stand by the law. Set the example. You walk by your works. You walk by your choices. This is what's so comical to me. Let me tell you, as soon as I woke up to the fact that I was living in a world that decided to take my addiction and use it against me to corroborate all their nasty crap they doing in the back. All their nasty stuff. All the nasty stuff. Crazy, crazy stuff. A lot of crazy stuff. Okay? And they know. But as soon as I woke up to it, I was like, oh, okay, I see what we're doing here. I see what we're doing here. Let me go ahead and I'm going to raise you a freaking spade. I'm going to raise you a spade. I'm going to raise you a spade. You can't take somebody's addiction and use that against them to hide your dirty deeds, to hide your dirty actions, what you do, the funky money stuff you be doing in the back, all that crazy stuff you be doing in the back. You can't do that. You can't do that. I'd like to know who you think you are if you're on the side of the fence to do something like that. Seriously. Seriously, and you think God's not going to hold up a mirror to you and be like, whoa, let's take a good look at this. Let's take a good look at you. And so it's one of those things where that's where you learn to walk in your truth. As soon as you own all your crap, all your mistakes, all your shortcomings, your unfavorable seasons, you own it and you're like, yeah, I walked through that. Absolutely. Let's talk about what you did to me while I was walking through that. Let's talk about that. Let's start there. Let's start there and circle back. But no, they don't want to tell that part of the story. No, they don't want to tell that part. That said, once you own all of that, yeah, what are they going to do? What are they going to do? What are they going to say? Please. Nope. And that's when you take back your power. That's when you take back your power and realize ain't nobody got power over you. Yeah, they can try to use it. They can smear it. They can humiliate it. They can bend the reality. They can create illusions. They can create attacks. Everybody can be behind the 8 ball. That's a struggle. I mean, I've heard that saying a couple of times. I was like, what does that even mean? I was like, I've been there before. I don't want to be there again. I hate that anybody's behind that. But like instances like that, you know what I mean? And it's just like, it's weird.